Welcome to Budget Delights, and this is 9-ingredient sushi. Today we'll be making sushi with these 9 ingredients. For today's recipe, you'll need granulated sugar, mirin, rice vinegar, seaweed sheets, also known as nori, salmon, about 1/2 pound, vegetable oil, short grain rice, sesame seeds, and green onions. Today's specialty ingredients include mirin, which is a sweet rice-based wine, rice vinegar, full seaweed sheets, a high-quality starchy short grain rice. We like to use Botan rice because it is affordable and meets all the requirements for sushi, and sesame seeds, which are optional but add a great flair. All of these ingredients can be found at your local Walmart in the international aisle. Other kitchen utensils you'll need is a rice cooker. If you don't have a rice cooker, that's fine. You can use a non-stick pan with a lid that has a steamer hole, a tablespoon, a 1-cup cupper, a knife to chop your salmon, a stirring spoon, a sushi roller, and a rice fluffer, which is optional. I'll be showing you how to prepare the rice without a rice cooker. You will need your non-stick pan, set your temperature to medium heat, and you will need 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. You will heat the oil until it streaks so that the rice doesn't stick to the bottom of your pan. We're still getting there. This will probably take a couple minutes. Once our oil is starting to streak and is ready, we can go ahead and turn off the burner and add our rice. We are using 1.5 cups of Botan rice to 2 cups of water. We will add this to the bowl and let it sit for 5 minutes. For 1/2 pound of salmon, you can use 1 cup of rice. We like to have a little extra rice on the side, so we're using 1.5 cups today. To release the starch in the rice, we're gonna go ahead and put the lid on and let this sit for 5 minutes with the heat on the stove off. While we're waiting for our rice to rest, we are going to go ahead and make our sugar mixture, which will be useful when the rice is finished. We're going to be using 3 tablespoons of sugar. This is 1 tablespoon per 1/2 cup of rice, and about 1/3 of a cup of water. And we'll be mixing these two together. Make sure you do use cold water for this mixture. And then stir until that sugar is mostly dissolved in the water. Once your rice has finished resting, go ahead and open up your rice, let it steam out, add a splash of mirin, give it a stir. We want to make sure our rice isn't sticking, which it's not. And then go ahead and set to medium heat on your stove and add your lid back on. We're gonna go ahead and let our rice cook for about 10 minutes. If it runs out of water, go ahead and add 1/4 cup of water until the rice is finished cooking. Also, for future reference, once your water starts boiling, we're going to head and turn this to low temperature. Now, it's not advisable to open the lid while this is cooking, but we need to go ahead and add a little bit more water to our rice. So we're going to go ahead and open the lid. We're going to give it a stir and add water. Do not add your sugar water at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Sorry there. We're going to give it a stir. We are starting to stick a little bit. Oh no. We are having a little bit of stickage, but that's okay. It looks like we ran out of a little bit of water, and that's perfectly fine. What we're gonna go ahead and do is add a splash of water here. Go ahead and stir that in. We are adding a full cup of water just so we can moisten this up because we still have about 3 minutes of cook time left on this rice. Then go ahead and recover your pan and let it sit. Once your rice is complete, you're going to go ahead and turn off the stove, take the lid off, let your rice steam out. We're going to now at this time add our sugar water. Make sure you do not add your sugar water until this point, and a couple splashes of rice vinegar. Okay, we're going to add our sugar water. And then we're going to go ahead and fluff our rice with the rice fluffer. Making sure all of our ingredients are incorporated well. So once your rice is all incorporated and fluffed, go ahead and level it out so that it cools evenly and we can get it all nice and cool. Make sure you remove this from our hot burner and let it set about 10 minutes or until it's cool. While our rice is cooling, we're going to go ahead and chop up our green onions. You are going to slice them very thinly. Please be careful while holding it. You ideally want your fingers to be like this while chopping, but again, if you're not experienced with a knife, do it however you feel safe. So a special note about our salmon is we're going to make sure we get store-bought salmon that has been farm raised from either Chile or Norway. We're going to take the salmon home, cut it to portions, and freeze it for about 3 days. This is going to be perfect for sushi. Once it's been frozen, we're going to go ahead and take it out to thaw. We're going to thaw it in the refrigerator. Do not thaw it in hot water as this will cook your salmon. Once it's all thawed out like this, it's going to be perfect and ready to cut for sushi. So we're going to go ahead and cut our salmon for sushi. We like to use bigger portions of salmon for our sushi cuts because we like our rolls filled with yummy salmon. I'm going to cut it in half and then go ahead and go this way. So when I first cut it in half, directly in half, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut these how we like it for our sushi. Again, cut to your liking on how much salmon you want. And you could also use different ingredients in your salmon. You could use crab. If you liked cooked fish, you can cook the salmon and mix it with a little bit of mayo. We are fine with raw fish for us, but it's all to your taste. Now that our rice is cooled, we're going to go ahead and take out our sushi roller and go ahead and grab our sheets of nori. When we take out our nori, we're going to have two sides to this. One is a smoother, shinier side, while the other, you can kind of see it has the lines a little serrated. We're gonna do the glossy side of your sushi paper is down, and then the rough striations within the sushi is going up and down here. So glossy side down, rough striations up and down. We're gonna go ahead and fill this with rice. We're gonna make sure, it's okay. Sometimes it hops off, but we're gonna go ahead and make sure that our rice is gonna be spread evenly, and we're just gonna have a small portion at the bottom of our sushi paper here that we are not going to have with rice. That will help us to be able to roll. I'm using the rice fluffing spoon because it works as a spoon, but it also works well for this process. You can just use a regular stirring spoon or whatever spoon that you have at home. So go ahead and make sure you get this evenly spread throughout your entire seaweed paper. We're just gonna add a little bit more to this top corner and get that all spread out. So that's perfect right there. We're going to go ahead and add our filling in. We got our salmon that we cut. Add this close to the bottom. We're going to add 3 pieces of our salmon in, maybe 4. Looks like he's lacking a little fill in there. We're also going to go ahead and add a sprinkle of green onions. and a sprinkle of sesame seeds, and this is gonna go throughout all of the rice there. Fill it up, add a great flair. When we go ahead and roll our sushi, we're gonna make sure we have our sushi mat. We're gonna go from the bottom, pick it up, roll, and we're gonna squeeze. We're gonna pull back, and we're gonna just do the same thing, giving that a squeeze. And then this last time, going ahead and giving it one last squeeze there. We can go ahead and check it by opening it up, and we will look at the bottom of our roll. You'll see that's nice and closed up. We're going to go ahead and move this to a cutting tray to cut our sushi into rolls. Once all of our sushi is prepared and rolled, we'll have 4 rolls of sushi, perfect for 2 people. You're gonna want to make sure you have a sharp knife on hand to go ahead and cut these sushi rolls. So now that we have our sushi rolled up, we're going to go ahead and cut it. We're gonna make 6 indents into the side of the sushi for how big of pieces we want. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try to make them as evenly as you can. When we go ahead and cut, we're going to do it downwards away from you. Make sure you go all the way down on that side and then pull towards you and down so that we cut the sushi on this side, or you're going to smash it. So we're gonna go all the way down over there and then pull down. Make sure you pull down all the way so that your sushi is cut and the nori at the bottom gets cut all the way. So we're gonna go down and then boop, down and then boop, down and then boop. And you can also pinch the roll here on the side to help you hold it, down and then boop. And then one last time. The end pieces are the hardest, but there we go. We have our beautiful sushi roll all cut up. Nice thick slices of sushi. With only 9 ingredients, 30 minutes, and under $15, we end up with 2 beautiful plates of sushi, 2 sides of rice for our Valentine's Day dinner. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to Budget Delights.